So Keith, one of the big initiatives at Vision New England that really catches us in the forefront is called the Vision One process.
Yes.
And I know a lot of our viewers may not understand what that is. So I was hoping you could tell us a little bit. What is the Vision One process, Keith?
Sure. Vision One is a multi-part or multi-staged process that helps a local church and the local church's leadership create a culture within that local church where evangelism, disciple-making, spiritual formation actually becomes a deeper, fuller part of the DNA of that church and the body life of that church.
That's a fantastic explanation. So the goals are fairly ambitious.
They are.
Yeah, this is not just a program.
It's not.
It's not just to blow in and blow out 30 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever, but you're really looking to affect a seed change in the, as you say, the DNA of the congregation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So let me ask you a question. It's probably a really important question. Why are we doing that? Why are we involved in that process?
Sure. And about 2005, Vision New England's board made a decision to strategically realign all of our resources, all of our ministry efforts into the areas of intentional evangelism and spiritual leadership formation, specifically related to pastoral ministry and pastoral care. There was a great need that had surfaced over the years for that. And Vision New England was perfectly and is perfectly situated and positioned to meet that need.
Yes.
So we did, for about a year, Steve, we did research across New England. We talked to about 100 pastors and churches and church ministry teams. We talked to consultants and researchers who specialized in those areas. And we also read thousands of volumes of materials. And the composite sketch, or the composite findings from all of that research, pointed very specifically to a very simple but profound finding. And that was that in New England, churches and pastors were struggling with how to reach the culture, the communities, and the people that they were trying to serve and reach. And so we decided to take the initiative to find a way to come alongside of them and help them in this struggle. And that's kind of the birth of Vision One, came out of that context of need.
Well, that's a beautiful way to say it. And certainly evangelism is the historic mandate of this organization. And so it's right in step with that. Can you tell us a little bit about then, in simple terms, how does that process work? How does the Vision One process work?
Sure. There's basically 5 pieces or stages of the Vision One process, and I'll go through them real quick with you. The first is the pastor's training. We are partnered with the Praxis Center for Church Development, and we have a 9-month training session that we do with the pastors. And once a month, pastors gather together with their peers and we do a peer-to-peer learning community context experience where we introduce the pastors to the foundational teachings that lie behind Vision One. So once a month, the pastors get together, they have that, and they also have access to a Vision One mentor who helps coach them during that process.
So this is exclusively for pastors?
Just for pastors. And the reason we're doing that and focusing on pastors is because research has shown that as the pastor goes, so goes the church. So it's critical for us to start at the leadership, not at the congregation. So we do that. So that's phase 1. Coming out of phase 1 is phase 2. Phase 2 is where we take those learnings and that kind of learning environment, and we bring it now to the church's leadership team.
The church leadership team.
So the church leadership team, as defined by the church, so it could include their board of elders or deacons, their ministry leaders, whatever it is. So we take a similar approach and we bring them through a training, learning experience process that covers usually it's about 6 to 7 sessions. And we introduce them to the Vision One teachings and principles, and we start talking about how do you lead your church how do you prepare your church, and how do you lead your church through a significant change initiative like Vision One. So
that's the second. The pastor is a part of this process?
The pastor, actually many of the pastors co-facilitate the training, or they do the training themselves.
Okay.
So you've got the pastors, then the church leadership team.
Yeah.
The third piece of it is the assessment piece. And we have two pieces to that particular stage. The first is we've partnered with Natural Church Development, NCD, and that's the assessment tool that we use. So we do an assessment of the church. We take that data from that assessment and it presents findings to us. And along with that, in tandem with that, we do focus group interviews. So we come to the church and we convene a couple of groups of people, a good demographic of the folks, and we spend about 2 to 2.5 hours with them in a facilitated directive interview, focus group interview, where we talk specifically about some of those areas in the church life that we will be addressing.
Okay.
Disciple making, spiritual formation, leadership. We take the findings from the survey, the findings from the interviews.
Can I interrupt you for one moment?
Yeah.
What are you trying to ferret out with the assessment and the focus groups? What kind of information are you looking to get?
We're trying to capture a real-time picture of the health of the church.
Okay.
And we use objective data with the survey and more personal data, face-to-face data that we receive from the interviews. And what we're looking for is not only the strengths of the body life, but also we want to identify those 1 or 2 areas, Steve, in the body life of the church that could actually act as hindrances.
Barriers.
To moving the church forward in the Vision One process.
All right.
So we take all these findings and we present back to the pastor and the church leadership team the summary, kind of an executive briefing, a leadership briefing that says, here's what you told us, here's who you are, today.
Okay.
That's the third phase. The fourth phase then is we take a team from the church who has gone through the training, and we spend about 3 months with them developing and crafting a strategic ministry plan
for that
particular context. So it's
contextualized.
It's very contextualized.
It's not just a template.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. And that's one of the beauties of the way we've developed it, is that we can take any particular local church and their setting and bring the Vision One principles into that setting and see transformation take place.
But adapted to
specific to localized
style and all of that.
Their traditions, their theological kind of underpinnings, all of those things.
But the core of it is to become a disciple-making church.
It's to become disciples who make disciples.
Disciples who make disciples. That's beautiful.
That's exactly what. So the leaders are making disciples, their leadership team's making disciples, and that's just permeating through.
Okay.
So that's the fourth, is we craft this strategic ministry plan, and then we present it as a recommendation. The team presents it as a recommendation. And once it's been approved, we spend the next 2 years, Steve, with them on site, helping them implement
2 years.
The plan. Yeah, so the entire process, if they choose to take the entire process in all stages, it's about 3 years that we spend with the church.
Wow. That is really awesome.
Yeah, it's been very exciting.
So tell us, Keith, tell our viewers, if somebody's interested in the Vision One process, or they want more information, they want to get involved, what do they need to do?
Sure, probably the best thing to do would be get a hold of me. So I would just have them go to our website, visionnewengland.com, and they'll find information there on Vision One. Click on that. It'll take them right to me. They can send me an email, they can call me, and we'll come to visit with them and see if we can help them and add value to their process of culture change.
It's awesome. You know, my whole life as an evangelical, Keith, I don't think I've ever seen anyone doing a process like this, and certainly not one that was contextualized with one-on-one relational coaching for the congregation. It's really awesome. Thanks for sharing with us today, Keith.
You're welcome. Thanks for giving us the time.